హలో వెల్కమ్ బ్యాక్ అండి. మీరు ఇప్పుడు కాశీమంతి ప్యారడైజ్ ఛానల్ని చూస్తున్నారు. దాంట్లో ఇవాళ మేము మా హవాయి ట్రిప్కి వెళ్ళి అట్లాంటిస్ సబ్మరీన్ని కవర్ చేసిన వీడియో ఒకటి క్యాప్చర్ చేసాము. లెట్స్ వాచ్ ద వీడియో అండి. చూసి మీ కమెంట్స్ పాస్ ఆన్ చేయండి. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు మేము అట్లాంటిస్ సబ్మెరీన్కి వచ్చాము. ఇది యాక్చువల్గా డిఫెన్స్ సబ్మెరీన్ కాదు. ఈ సబ్మెరీన్ షిప్ వచ్చి అండర్ వాటర్కి వెళ్తుంది, అండర్ వాటర్ లైఫ్ అది చూడటానికి. సో మొత్తానికి అట్లాంటిస్ సబ్మెరీన్స్ ఇది కోనా ఏరియాలోనే ఉంది. అండ్ అక్కడ చూస్తే నెహా చికెన్ అవుతుంది. So chicken అయిపోయింది Neha. Very good young lady with us. We just wanted to know about Atlantis Submarine. So what's your name? Katie. Hi Katie, how are you? So can you just tell us about this Atlantis Submarine?
It is a eco-friendly battery-operated submarine. It has 48 passenger, holds capacity. It's a real submarine. Pilots drive it. Takes you below 100 feet altogether. They talk about all the colonies of coral we have, as well as the different reef fish that you're going to see.
Oh, what kind of fish do we see there?
Ones that swim under the water.
Nice one, that's true. I wish I could swim under the water too, like a fish.
This is deep. This is pretty deep. So now you get to see what's actually below your feet when you're swimming.
Oh, really? Okay. Are we going to see sharks or dolphins, those kind of things?
I don't know. The fish are all in charge.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess we'll get to know once we go there.
I'll make sure you see everything.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Katie. All right. మెల్లగా నడుస్తూ ఉన్నామండి సబ్మెరీన్ వైపు. సో లెట్స్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ది సబ్మెరీన్. బన్ను, హిందూ, నేను బ్లూలో ఉన్నాము రిజంబ్లెన్స్ కోసము. సో నేహా కూడా బ్లూలోనే ఉంది, కానీ షట్టర్ వేసుకుంది. కొద్దిగా చలి పెడుతున్నట్టుంది నేహాకి. ఏంటి ఇది సబ్మరీన్ బోటా? నో వే. ఐ థింక్ ఇది అక్కడ దాకా ట్రావెల్ చేస్తుంది అనుకుంటా. ట్రావెల్ చేసుకొని అక్కడ దాకా తీసుకెళ్తుంది, సబ్మెరీన్ దాకా తీసుకెళ్ళి అక్కడ మళ్ళా ఎంటర్ అవుతాం అనుకుంటాను. సో యాక్చువల్ సబ్మెరీన్లో మలామా ఖాయ్. సో మొత్తానికైతే ఈ బోట్ అయితే ఎక్కాము. ఈ బోట్ బహుశా యాక్చువల్ సబ్మెరీన్కి తీసుకెళ్తుంది అనుకుంటాను. మళ్ళీ అక్కడ సబ్మెరీన్లోకి వెళ్తాము. ఓకే, దట్స్ ద సబ్మెరీన్.
Nice big step right here. Hold this handle and head on down that way for me.
So this is how we are entering into the submarine. Submarine ఇప్పుడు వెళ్తున్నాము. రివర్స్ చేయలేదు యాక్చువల్గా. సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ వి నీడ్ టు గో. ఓకే, సబ్మరీన్లో ఇప్పటికి వచ్చేసామండి. ఇది స్టిల్ అండర్ వాటర్, బట్ ఇంతకన్నా ఇంకా డీప్గా వెళ్తుందంట. సో చూస్తే ఇంకా ఇది కూడా కొద్దిగా అండర్ వాటర్లోనే ఉంది. ఇట్లాగా చిన్న వ్యూస్, విండోస్ టైప్ గ్లాస్ విండోస్ లాగా ఇచ్చారు. ఓషన్ ఫ్లోర్ కనబడుతుంది కింద.
That's how much water is above our heads right now. It's pretty cool how it changes and how they navigate this underwater terrain.
100
Well, everyone that's sitting on this side. Hi everyone, you're on the port side of the submarine. Remember that, the port side. Does anyone know what the other side's called? Starboard. Port and starboard. Pointing this out because as I talk about what we're seeing outside the submarine today, I'm gonna let you know what side I saw it on. Maybe make it a little easier to identify some of the stuff that we got out here today. And last but not least, we got a lot of eyes on board. If you see something cool, let everyone else know. You might see something really cool in the back. The eye mess up here like eels, all kinds of stuff out here. So keep your eye out for all the fun stuff in our coral reef out here. Just now coming into the reef, as we do come into it, one thing to point out is the color of it. A lot of people, when they first get in the submarine, they get down here and they wonder, is the coral alive? It looks kind of. The only reason it's not bright and colorful, like when you see it on TV, the blues, purples, greens, all those vibrant colors, because of how deep we are. On TV, they're using big fancy artificial lights on the outside of their cameras that shine really brightly on the coral, and the color reflects back. In fact, if you see coral that looks like fingers coming up through the bottom, finger coral, that's red coming to the surface. All the kind of lumps and round looking coral, they're actually greenish yellow. And if you see a coral that looks like plates on this reef, looking at the coral and the different marine life we have today. So you're going to see these guys all over our reef today. This is what's known as an endemic species. They're only found here in Hawaii, so it makes them a little bit special. But they're actually known for their attitude. They're really mean. If you're a scuba diver or a snorkeler and you get a little bit too close to their home on the reef, their job is to scare you away. And they do this in two ways. First, you isn't scary enough. It's got to take up its scare tactics a notch. What it's going to do. Beautiful views. Those yellow fish with the blue stripes running right down inside, those are called the ta'ape, or the blue striped snappers. One of the biggest schools of fish we see out here on our reef today. What was it? Oh, cool. So it's either, and yeah, keep your eye out. We do have some huge ones that have been hanging around on our dive site lately. So those ta'ape that we had, those blue striped snappers, one of the biggest schools, but that's unfortunately an invasive species. They do not belong here in Hawaii. They were brought here, that's why they're just left out here on our reef. So invasive species brought here in the 1950s, but they are beautiful, the blue striped snappers, the ta'ape. Here comes another real small school on the starboard side. And port side, you're getting more of those trigger fish with the white fins on the top and the bottom and the pale green tail. Ooh, starboard side as well. About 20 feet out. The name of that guy is the Humuhumu le'okole, which actually, if you translate that, and over here on our port side, about 5 feet away, we have a Moorish Idol. He has thick black and yellow stripes up and down his body, and almost like a tail that kind of comes off his head. He's just hanging around up here in the front. You should be able to see him in the back in just a second. Now that Moorish Idol, he might look familiar if you've seen the movie Finding Nemo. So we don't have Nemo and Dory here. Our water's too cold for them, but we have a couple of fish from that movie. That Moorish Idol is one of them. He was the grumpy one with the scar on his face in charge of the aquarium kill. That's a Moorish Idol. Now Disney knew what they were doing when they did all these escape plans, because as it turns out, that fish is the second smartest fish on the entire reef. It's a really, really smart fish. It is able to memorize over a 100-foot patch of coral in seconds. Amazing memories. They're so bright and colorful that if they don't know where all the hidey holes are, they get eaten. So they've had to become smart just to survive on the reefs out here. We've got these little fish, the Picasso Trigger fish, or the Humuhumu nuku abua'a, right? That one, you're actually probably not going to find that on our dive site. We're way too deep for it. If you're looking for that guy, just go snorkeling in about 15-20 feet of water, and that's where you're going to see that fish all over the time. Those fish, the humuhumu, they're actually pretty unique. They sound like, they grind their bones together, and they actually sound like pigs underwater. So if you hear one kind of like making noise at you, that's what it is. It's one of those trigger fish. Skeleton we're seeing out here. What's producing it are millions of teeny tiny animals called coral polyps. They kind of look like a microscopic jellyfish that you flip upside down and stick it on its head. That's a coral polyp. It's what's making what we're looking at out here. Over 70% of all marine life is found on coral reefs. That's why it is so unique and so special to have all this coral out here. Another cool thing about coral is it is an animal, a plant, and a mineral. Inside of its body, it has a little piece of algae called zooxanthellae. It can photosynthesize. Now we have some hunting going on over here on the port side. They're chasing around those ta'ape, those big silver fish that has a kind of shimmery blue outside to them. They're called the bluefin trevally. They are part of the jack family. The Hawaiian name is called umilu. Keep your eye out for them. They were split apart, the ta'ape school we had. Don't know where they went, so keep your eye out. There's a good chance we're going to be seeing them throughout our entire dive because they kind of use the submarine as like a Trojan horse. So submarines cruise along down here. They actually sit and hide right underneath us to sneak up on the fish. So keep your eye out. There's probably a couple of them hiding underneath the submarine right now. Starboard side, the Moorish Idol again, right there on our port side. You might also see a butterfly fish that has a completely white body. It has orange stripes that run diagonally down across its side. That's called the ornate butterfly fish. Kika kapu is its name in Hawaiian. In fact, a lot of the yellow fish we see down here today they are bright yellow with a white and a black stripe right over their eye. There's a whole bunch of them hanging out of this shipwreck. We've got another cornet fish. It's long and skinny right in front of this broken mast. We've got some unicorn fish. They're called the pale tail unicorn. They're on the other side of the shipwreck. You can see that horn protruding off of their forehead with that pale light blue tail that they have. Wow, there's a bunch of those guys. You've got the sea urchins, the vana all over the shipwreck. Make sure you avoid those. Those big long spines are hollow, so if you accidentally come into contact with them, the reason that they are so painful is because you can't remove them with tweezers or anything. You just have to let them dissolve over time in your body. So watch out for the vana here. Now don't worry, starboard side. We're going to head out and away and turn around. You'll get your front row view as well. The name of this shipwreck is called the Predator. It is a Higgins-style landing craft. It's the same kind of boat that they used to storm the beaches of Normandy in like World War II. If you've seen the movie Saving Private Ryan, this looks a little familiar. What they would do is soldiers would be on the inside, they'd grab the boat up on the beach, drop the bow door down, and all the soldiers would run out. Now this boat is just a replica. They did not use it in any of the wars. The guy who purchased it, Hawaiian name, it means the swimming yellow tea leaf. Ooh, really quick port side, those yellow fish with the black dot on their tail, those are the millet seed butterflies. Starboard side, you had those guys just a second ago. We're on port side, they're big kind of football-sized and shaped fish, dark head, beige lines running down close to its tail. Starboard side, there's a roy on your side as well, but it's kind of far out, probably about 40 feet, or a roy. Those guys are also invasive, brought here in the 1950s, along with those ta'ape for food, but we can't eat them for a completely different reason. They get nice and big, unlike the ta'ape, but they actually carry a nerve, the yellow tang. These guys are also endemic, only found here in Hawaii. In Kona, we were actually known for them. We were called the yellow tang. These guys are also endemic, only found here in Hawaii. In Kona, we were actually known for them. We were called the golden commercial reason. You're going to be fined upwards of like $50,000. It's a really big fine, but it's a good thing because now they're so protected, their population has bounced back pretty dramatically in just 3 years. Still seeing a bunch of parrotfish in this area. Port side, you have a small school of those humu LALA, the black trigger fish. Starboard side, you're getting a couple visitors of some yellowfin surgeon fish. It's a fish that's about the size of a dinner plate. Its body is purplish gray in color and bright yellow vibrant ends. Two little rapid butterflies, port side. Now this is another area where you should really look out for the out there. That was called a queen triggerfish. That was the second biggest triggerfish in the entire world out there. He's swimming away from us, but he might have caught a glimpse of it. So yeah, these long-nosed butterflies, they turn black, and scientists cannot figure out why. They actually came to the Big Island, found some of the black ones, brought them to Oahu to study them. As soon as they put... By the way, if you've noticed, we are now getting deeper and deeper. The deeper we go, you're actually going to notice the less coral we have. All of this coral is growing on ancient lava flows. So the lava flow came down from the volcano, where it stops in the water. So does our coral. Coral needs a substrate to attach onto. So all of this is ancient lava flows that our corals attach onto. This is a mooring line, and it weighs over 5,000 pounds.
Chain of the
We only
anchorage.
know this because it is our anchor. We actually put it out here. So that boat we came out here and is currently, they get their name not from their color, but their teeth are fused into a beak. They take a big old chunk out of it.
Fish
They grind it down the back of their throat.
Which is
And what
surprising.
comes in must come out.
Parrot fish తో ద్వారా
That
వస్తుంది.
means 60 to 70% of the white sand of this shipwreck. Oh, we have not been seeing sharks out here. Okay, so he's inside the bow of that shipwreck. Keep your eye out for that one. Ooh, okay. The name of the shark here in Hawaii is Mono. Now that one in particular is Monolalakea. This white-tip reef shark, they're actually known for being nocturnal and pretty docile.
A shark. Wow.
Oh, he came out again. All right, cool. Keep your eyes on the back. That's where everyone gets a chance to see him. So these guys are nocturnal. They're usually sleeping during the day. So it's exciting he came out to say hi to us. This shark has the special ability to lay down. Now, that doesn't sound that fancy. All right, we're getting ourselves turned around. So this shipwreck actually sank 10 years before the other one, 1986. The original name of this boat was called the Angia. A couple from Alaska decided to retire, so they bought this sailboat, sailed it all the way down here. The husband went to do something, so the wife stayed here to take care of the boat. But when she was here by herself, she found out that their boat had a problem, a termite infestation. Well, she needed to get that taken care of, so she decided to solve a loud hissing noise. It's gonna fill up with air on the outside. We're gonna get incredibly buoyant and go shooting up like when you pop a cork. It's the fastest part of our entire dive that we'll do.
Roger, understand. Clear to surface passing 65 feet. Switching to the VHF radio. Isolating the vertical thrusters. Will mirror ballast. Turn them out.
There we go. That was that clearance we needed. There's nothing above us, so we're going up to the surface from almost 70 feet. Here we go.
ఈ parrot fishes. సబ్మెరీన్ పైకి వెళ్తూ ఉంటే ఆ వాటర్ స్ప్లాషెస్ సో మొత్తానికైతే సబ్మెరీన్ నుంచి మళ్ళీ బోట్కి వచ్చాము. బోట్ నుంచి మళ్ళీ వెనక్కి వెళ్ళిపోతాము. సో చాలా ఫిషెస్ చూసాము. ఇట్ వాజ్ గుడ్ వ్యూ. చాలా ఫిషెస్ చూసాము. ప్యారెట్ ఫిషెస్ అయితే చాలా దగ్గరకు వచ్చాయి. ఆ వీడియోస్ కూడా క్యాప్చర్ చేశాను. ఇట్స్ అ గుడ్ వ్యూ.
And there they go. Keeping up that waving.